Well, good evening and surprise. Happy Wednesday. It was such a nice afternoon. The air is so refreshing and it's cloudy, a little cloud, a little sun, but it's actually still a beautiful day, and it's just great to have be in a temperature that's comfortable. It's not really hot, it's not cool. It's just a beautiful day to me. I like clouds. I mean, it's just great. But I wanted to come on here for just a few minutes to share with you guys some things that God has been speaking to my heart. And I won't be long, as the old preacher said, I won't be before you long, or at least I'll try not to. But the last several days, God has been really speaking to me quite strongly about three words. And the three words are see, perceive, and discern. Okay? See, perceive, and discern. Now, a lot of people don't understand. If you notice the extremes in people's ideology, you've got people who are Trump supporters, and you've got this extreme ideology on this side. And then you've got people who are Black Lives Matter supporters, and you've got extreme ideology on that side. And then you've got people kind of in the middle who really don't, there's that old saying, there are people that knows, there's that group that knows what happened, then there's that group that watched what happened, and then there's the people who heard about what happened, or something to that effect. And so it makes you wonder how, especially when I had a friend of mine tell me the other day, she said, I was sharing with some people my perspective on just what the things that are in the atmosphere. And she says, and people won't even talk to me anymore. People I've known for years. And it is because of those three words: what we see, what we perceive, and what we're able to discern. Okay? See, perceive, and discern. And these three words will really determine, to a vast degree, where people spend their eternity. They're going to determine how you live out these last few years. They're going to determine what happens, because there are some things that going forward, our life as we've known it is over. America as we knew it is over. Now, to the extent that we're able to enjoy life moving forward will depend on the ability to see, the ability to perceive, and the ability to discern. Now, each one of those words, sight, perception, and discernment, really has a lot to do with your ability to see realms. Okay? Now, you've got three realms that most of us interact and engage with. I'm going to be doing a class tomorrow night where I'm going to be teaching about 7 things that you must do. This class, it's pretty much a free class. It's for a donation. So if you want to donate $1, you can do $1 and you can attend the class. So it's up to you. But our ability to see, perceive, and discern is going to determine how much you enjoy the life we are now stepping into in this new era. Okay, your ability to see, your ability to perceive, your ability to discern is going to shape the level of joy you experience. It's going to shape your safety. It's going to shape your ability to maneuver. It's going to shape your ability to strategize. So if you have incapacitated sight, if you have limited perception, and if you have no discernment, you're going to have some issues. I'm just telling you right now. Now, what we're going to be talking about in the session tomorrow night is the realms that we are able to take advantage of depending on our ability to see, our ability to perceive, and our ability to discern. That's why you look at people, you have some people who are like chilling, kicking back, and it's like nothing is bothering them. There's a level of peace, there's a level of rest, there's a level of, because they are understanding that my ability to see, perceive, and discern controls what realms I have access to. And so, yes, Rex, it's important that we spend time prayer and spiritual, so that we have spiritual success. That's true. But there are people who are praying who still have no discernment. There are people who are watching what's going on, and they're doing all this, and they're trying to get stuff together. They have no peace, they have no rest, they're uncomfortable because they are being shaped. Their ability to see, their ability to discern, and their perception is being shaped by factors that's controlling their perspective. Now, we have three realms that most of us navigate to in varying degrees. We've got the natural realm, we've got the intuitive realm, and then you've got the spiritual realm. And so a lot of people are just looking at stuff in the natural, and they're all mad. Oh, they're looking at Trump. I can't believe you support Trump. I said, because you know what? Your ability to see, your ability to perceive, and your ability to discern, you might want to check it. Because when you can see, not just with your natural eyes, and you can perceive, that's with your soulish realm. That's the eyes, what you that's with your soul. Your soul consists of three things, okay? Your emotions, what you feel, your thoughts, what you think, and your will, your capacity to act on the things you think and see. Okay, you think and do. So your intuitive realm shapes your ability to access higher levels of thought, higher levels of wisdom. Okay, now a lot of people don't even know what wisdom is, and so when you are in this new era, when 2020 turned, when the clock turned, it's the whole game changed. So if you want to be able to navigate this new era, if you want to be able to walk with discernment, to live in peace, to be able to access a level of wisdom and insight so that you are not controlled and maneuvered by what's going on, if you want access to the thoughts and minds of God, you're going to have to learn to maneuver and move and get your discernment from the third realm. Because your natural realm, that's what you see on the news, what you're watching on the media, what your friends say, what your mom and them say, what your daddy think. Your cousin them been Democrats, so they don't want you to be a Republican. And then you got the Make America Great Again, and then they telling you to do one thing. It's not about that, folks, because those are all limited realms. Your natural realm is limited. There's only so much information you can get. And that information in every case is all propaganda. I don't care what side you're on. If you're on Trump, it's propaganda. If you're on Biden, it's propaganda. It's all propaganda, which means in order for you to rise above the propaganda, regardless of your perspective, regardless of what of your political persuasion, it's all propaganda. Which means for you to move above the propaganda, you've got to move above the sight realm. You've got to at least get into the intuitive realm. Now, your intuitive realm is a little bit different from what you see, okay? Because your intuitive realm allows you to access things to... what's the best way? It allows you to access insight that is connected to the spirit without going into the spirit. Your intuition allows you to access information that is connected to the spirit without going to. You get that feeling in your gut. That's the spirit realm trying to tell you something. Now, to the degree that you are comfortable navigating and moving into the spirit realm, now at least you've got access to information beyond what you see. We're talking about seeing, perceiving, and discerning. 2020, when it turned, it shifted so that if you are limited to your sight realm, what you see on the news, what you're hearing people say, other people's perspective, other people's ideology, it's all propaganda. All of it is propaganda. So if you don't get that, you are in trouble. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. You're in trouble. And that's why you need to know these 7 things you must do. That class is tomorrow night. I'm going to share the link with you because in this class, I didn't teach this portion. This is actually the second time that I've taught this class. But in the first section, the Lord was developing this insight. And then the other morning as I was praying, it's like he just dropped all of the pieces down on the table and said, there you go. Now just twist this one, twist that one, twist that one. And there's the whole picture. So that in order for you to really maximize this new era, you must have access to the spiritual realm and learn how to navigate it. And that's an issue for a lot of people because to get into that realm, you got to pick sides. Because if you are on the side of the demonic, they have a level of insight in terms of what their strategies are. And then if you're in the kingdom of God realm, there is a level of insight that in terms of to what God is doing that you need access to. And there are things that limit your access. There are things that limit your capacity to get in either one. But you got to get in it, because if you don't pick a side, you don't have access to the internal workings of that kingdom's agenda. You got to pick. You got to go. You got to. So, see, perceive, discern. Each one of these shapes and governs what's going to happen around you, through you, for you. You will either be navigating and walking effectively and successfully, or you're just going to be doing stuff because that's what everybody else is doing. And if you are moving in a direction simply because that's the direction that the herd is going, if the herd goes off the cliff like the swine that Jesus cast the demon into, that was a spiritual insight. That was a spiritual act. That was a spiritual act. Jesus acted based on discernment that he had from the spirit realm, because he said, I do what my Father does because I hear what my Father says and I see what my Father is doing. So he had access. And so if we don't have access, the only way you can get somewhere or maneuver is you either got to do what somebody else is doing or you following somebody else's instructions. And that's dangerous, folks. That's dangerous. It's quite dangerous. So if you want more information, tomorrow night I'm going to be teaching this in depth. I'm going to be teaching what constitutes the natural realm, what constitutes the intuitive realm, what constitutes the spirit realm. And God is saying, listen, you guys, if you're going to be in my kingdom, I'm challenging you, like I told John, come up higher, come up hither, step on up your game, because that's where the fun is. That's where you get to partner with the kingdom of God. That's where you get to flow with the angelic. That's where God gives you insight about things that are happening. You know, when Ruth Ginsburg died, I wasn't surprised. I knew intuitively and spiritually that she was not going to make it to January. I didn't say that because some things you don't want to say. You just let God do what he's going to do. Okay, unless he tells you. And I will say this, she's not the last one. She's not going to be the last major person to leave here before the election. I'll tell you that. She's not the last one. So there are things happening, but in order for you to get access to that level of insight, Lonnie, Brene, Shirley, what's up, Shirley? Hey, girlfriend, how are you? Miss Juanita, Sandy, in order for you to get access to that higher realm, God is challenging people. He is inviting people. There is an open invitation to step into that realm, to come up higher. And he is, and so we're going to be talking about 7 things that you need to do right away. I mean, I taught this class at the 1st of September. I think September 10th was the first time. And then the Lord put it in my heart to do it again. Back then I said, you've got about 60 days. Now you really have about 30 days to manage some of these things and to start getting in position so that you can maximize all 3 levels, so that you can take the information from the natural realm, but then you can actually go into your intuition. You can go into your inner man and you can discern some things that are happening. But then in order for you to gain spiritual insight so that you can maneuver and you can actually enact strategies so that you can take advantage of some things that are about to happen. Oh, it gets so exciting when you have discernment. But if you're one of those people standing back going, I just don't understand how they can be supporting Trump. I just can't understand. Check your discernment, because it probably has a lot to do with what you're seeing, with your ability to perceive, which limits your discernment. And discernment is, to a vast degree, is controlled by a couple of really powerful things. So I'm on that. So if you want to join me tomorrow night for 7 things you must do, you got about 30 days to get on top of this, okay? And we're going to be talking about things that you need to do in the natural. We're going to be talking about things that you need to do in the and the spiritual, and we're going to be talking about things that you need to do, even in terms of your relationships and your connections. It's so good. I don't want anybody to miss it. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central Time, 7 things you must do. Join me so that you can get information about how to maximize what you see, how to utilize what you perceive, and then how to tap into that, use those two so that you can discern where God is going, what God is doing, and how you can not just be an observer, but an active participant in this new era that we just stepped in. Don't be on the sidelines, baby. Get into it with the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. That is where the fun is. That's where the warriors are. These are exciting times. Yes, they are. Thank you guys so much. I gotta go. I just wanted to pop on here. My phone's fixing to die. I gotta go. But I want to pop on here and give you guys this information. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Central Time, the 7 things you must do. But we're going to be talking also about how to see, perceive, and discern so that you can maximize what is happening in this new era. You can participate, be an active participant so that you can strategize and win and not just be here. Okay? Thank you guys so much for hopping on here with me. Until next time, you make it a terrific day. Bye-bye.